Hey everyone, welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're going to be talking about something that can feel like a really big hurdle for a lot of people, but it can also be the doorway to so many new and exciting possibilities. We're going to be talking about downsizing and how selling your home for cash can really simplify that whole process.
Yeah, it's really interesting how many people are looking to downsize these days, simplify their lives a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
And for a lot of people, I think that means, kind of starting fresh with a new place to live.
Yeah, absolutely. And for anyone who's thinking, okay, cash sale, that sounds interesting. Well, you can actually head over to sellthathouse2me.com and explore your options there. You can get a fast and fair cash offer for your home, no matter what condition it's in. And our team is really, really dedicated to making that whole process as easy and smooth as possible for you.
I think that's one of the things I love about working here is we really do help people in all sorts of situations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially people who need to move quickly or who just don't want to deal with the traditional real estate market.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But let's back up a little bit for people who might be new to this whole cash sale thing.
Sure.
Why is it such a game changer, especially when we're talking about downsizing? What makes cash, the king in this scenario?
Well, just imagine this. You found your dream downsized condo. Maybe it's a cozy beachfront spot or a charming little place that's closer to your
I
grandkids.
like that.
But you're stuck waiting for months for a traditional sale to go through, right? You have to deal with the inspections and the appraisals, and there's always that worry in the back of your mind that the buyer's financing could fall through.
Ugh, yeah, that waiting game is brutal.
Right. Now imagine this with a cash sale. All those worries, they just vanish. You can close in a matter of days, not months.
Wow.
Which gives you the freedom to move forward on your own terms, and suddenly you're not just downsizing your house, you're upsizing your control over the entire process.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Hmm.
But isn't there a trade-off there? Like, are you sacrificing some potential profit for that speed and simplicity?
That's a really great question, and it's where things get kind of interesting. Yes, cash buyers typically offer slightly below market value,
Okay.
but you have to think about all the costs that you're avoiding. You're not paying agent commissions. You're not having to do repairs, maybe staging the house. You're not paying those mortgage payments for months while you're waiting for a buyer. So when you factor in those savings, a cash offer often becomes surprisingly competitive.
Yeah, there's a perspective I hadn't really thought about before. It's not just about that initial offer price. It's about the whole financial picture.
Exactly. And I think for a lot of people, especially people who are downsizing, that peace of mind and that control over their timeline
Right.
is really priceless.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've established that cash sales have some serious perks,
Yeah.
but I know there can be some shady characters out there in the cash buying world.
Yeah.
What are some of the biggest mistakes that people make? And how can our listeners steer clear of those pitfalls?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. To be cautious, knowledge is power. And knowing how to navigate the cash sale landscape can save you a lot of headaches down the road. One of the biggest mistakes we see is people accepting the first offer they get without shopping around.
It's like the classic impulse buy syndrome.
It is.
You wouldn't buy a car without comparing prices first, right?
Exactly.
That-
Treat your home sale the same way. Get at least 3 offers from different cash buyers to see what's out there. Don't be afraid to ask questions and negotiate to get the best possible deal for yourself.
Okay, so rule number 1, don't settle for the first offer that comes your way. What's the next big mistake to avoid?
This one can be a little scary, falling for scams. Sadly, there are people out there looking to take advantage of homeowners, especially those who might be in a difficult situation.
Oh man, that's awful. What are some red flags that people should watch out for?
Yeah, any buyer who pressures you to sign quickly without giving you time to think or maybe even consult with a lawyer, that's a major red flag. Also, never pay any upfront fees. Legitimate cash buyers like us here at sellthathouse2me.com, we cover all of those costs for you, and always make sure that the closing is handled by a licensed title company or a real estate attorney.
Okay, those are really, really good tips.
Yeah.
So it's all about doing your due diligence and working with a buyer you can trust.
Exactly.
Speaking of trust, let's talk about choosing the right cash buyer. Our research mentioned a few different types of cash buyers out there. Can you break those down for us?
Absolutely. You've got your kind of traditional real estate investors.
Right.
They're often looking to flip houses for a profit.
Mm-hmm.
They typically offer really fast closings, but they might come in with lower offers. Then you have iBuyers. These are companies that use algorithms to make offers on homes. They might offer you a little bit more, but they also often charge fees that can kind of cut into your profit.
So it's kind of a balancing act then. Speed versus potential profit.
Hmm.
What about local cash buyers? How do they fit into the picture?
Local cash buyers like sellthathouseto me.com. We're often individuals or smaller companies that specialize in certain regions. We tend to offer a more personalized service, and we might be a little bit more flexible in negotiations. Plus, we're invested in the community, and we really care about helping homeowners find the best solution for their situation.
Yeah, and I can vouch for that. We've seen firsthand how our company goes above and beyond to make the process as smooth and stress-free as possible for our clients.
It's true. We've worked with people facing all sorts of challenges, from foreclosure to probate to just needing to relocate quickly for a new job. And seeing the relief on their faces when we can offer them a fair cash solution and help them move forward with their lives is incredibly rewarding.
Oh, that's what it's all about. All right, so we've covered different types of cash buyers. Now let's dive into, I think, a crucial aspect of this whole process. Pricing your home strategically. I know a lot of people worry that downsizing means undervaluing their property. Is that a valid concern?
It's a really common fear, but it doesn't have to be the reality. You can absolutely get a fair price for your home while still attracting cash buyers. Remember, they're looking for speed and simplicity, but they also want to make a reasonable profit.
So how do you walk that line?
Yeah.
What are the key steps to pricing your home strategically for a cash sale?
Well, it all starts with those multiple cash offers we talked about earlier. You want to use those as a baseline to understand what buyers are willing to pay in your area.
Okay.
Then you want to do a little research on recent sales data for comparable homes to get a sense of market value.
Okay, so you're gathering data, getting a realistic sense of the market. What's next?
You want to anticipate offers that are slightly below market value,
Okay.
maybe 10 to 15% less, but then factor in all those savings that you're going to reap from skipping repairs commissions and months of carrying costs.
Right.
Suddenly that cash offer might look pretty good.
Yeah, that's a brilliant way to kind of reframe that whole pricing conversation. It's not just about the sticker price. It's about the net profit after all those other expenses.
Exactly. And don't forget about the intangible value of a quick, hassle-free sale. That peace of mind is worth a lot.
So true. All right, let's say you get a cash offer that feels a bit low. What's the best way to handle that?
Don't be afraid to counter.
Okay.
Most cash buyers expect a little bit of negotiation, and they're open to finding a price that works for both parties.
So it's all about communication,
Exactly.
finding that sweet spot.
Exactly. And remember, you always have the option to walk away if you're not comfortable with an offer. You're in control.
That's so empowering.
Yeah.
It's a good reminder that homeowners have options and control in this process.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about the financial and logistical side of selling your home for cash. But let's shift gears a bit and talk about the emotional aspects of downsizing. It's not just about square footage and finances. It's about memories, transitions, and sometimes letting go.
You hit the nail on the head. Downsizing can be a really deeply personal and emotional journey for people. It's often intertwined with, major life changes like retirement, kids moving out, or simply just wanting a less complicated lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's completely natural to have some mixed feelings about leaving a home that's filled with, years of memories.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's a very bittersweet experience.
Yeah.
On one hand, you have the excitement of a new chapter, but on the other, you're saying goodbye to a place that holds so much sentimental value. How can people navigate that emotional complexity?
That's where the beauty of a cash sale can really shine.
Yeah.
It allows you to move through the process quickly and efficiently, minimizing that time that you're spending dwelling on potentially difficult emotions. It's like ripping off a Band-Aid. Sometimes a clean break is less painful than a drawn-out farewell.
So less time lingering in the past, more time looking forward to what's next.
Exactly. And remember, downsizing doesn't have to mean getting rid of everything you love. It's about prioritizing what truly matters and finding creative ways to bring those cherished memories and belongings with you into your new space.
That's a fantastic point. It's not about erasing the past. It's about curating it. It can even be a chance to declutter and simplify, surrounding yourself with only the things that bring you joy.
Couldn't agree more. It's an opportunity to redefine what home means to you. Maybe it's no longer about having a big house, but it's about having more time to travel, invest in hobbies, or just build deeper connections with loved ones.
I love that shift in perspective. It's not about downsizing your life. It's about upsizing the things that truly matter.
Precisely. And selling your home for cash can give you the financial freedom to pursue those experiences and prioritize those connections. It's like unlocking a whole new level of possibility.
Yeah, that's inspiring. But let's get practical for a moment. Downsizing often involves a lot of decluttering and sorting through years of accumulated belongings. Any tips for making that process less overwhelming?
Absolutely. First and foremost, start early. Don't wait until the last minute to tackle this. Give yourself plenty of time to sort through everything thoughtfully.
Right. Procrastination is not your friend in this scenario.
Not at all. You want to break it down into smaller, more manageable chunks. Instead of trying to declutter your entire house in a weekend, focus on one room or even just one closet at a time. This can really help prevent you from feeling overwhelmed by the sheer volume of stuff.
That makes a lot of sense. What about those items that are hard to part with, the sentimental things that kind of tug at your heartstrings?
Ah, those are always tricky. I like the, keep, donate, sell, toss method. Create 4 designated areas and just categorize each item accordingly. For sentimental items, consider taking photos or creating a memory box to preserve those memories without keeping the physical object.
Such a smart idea. You're honoring the past without letting it clutter up your present. And for the items you decide to sell, online platforms like eBay, Facebook Marketplace, or good old-fashioned yard sales can be your best friend.
Absolutely. And don't forget the power of donating to local charities or organizations that resonate with you. It's a wonderful way to declutter while giving back to the community.
Love that. It turns downsizing into an act of generosity. Okay, so you've decluttered, you've sorted, you've said your goodbyes. Now comes the actual move. Any advice for making moving day less chaotic, even when you're downsizing to a smaller space?
Moving can definitely be stressful,
Yeah.
but here are a few strategies that can help. Pack strategically. Clearly label each box with its contents in the room it belongs in. This will make unpacking a breeze.
Oh, that's a lifesaver. There's nothing worse than staring at a mountain of unmarked boxes, wondering where to even begin.
Totally agree. And if your budget allows, consider hiring professional movers. They can handle the heavy lifting and the logistics, freeing you up to focus on settling into your new home.
That's a worthy investment for sure. It takes a lot of pressure off your shoulders.
And don't underestimate the power of asking for help. Friends and family are often more than happy to lend a hand with packing, unpacking, or just providing moral support. Don't be afraid to reach out to your network.
That's a great reminder. Sometimes we try to be superheroes and do it all ourselves when we have a whole support system ready to rally around us.
Exactly. Downsizing and moving can be challenging, but it doesn't have to be a solo mission.
I love that.
Yeah.
And speaking of support systems, for anyone feeling overwhelmed by the prospect of selling their home and navigating this whole process, sellthathouse-to-me.com is here to help every step of the way.
We've helped so many people facing a variety of different situations, job relocations, inheritances, even folks who just need a fresh start. And we understand the challenges and anxieties that can come with these life transitions.
Yeah.
And we're committed to making the selling process as easy, stress-free, and even empowering as possible.
It's so much more than just a transaction. It's about helping people move forward with confidence and create a brighter future.
Absolutely. We're here to answer your questions, provide guidance, and make sure that you get a fair and competitive offer for your home. It's about making this experience as smooth as possible so you can focus on the excitement of your next chapter.
And speaking of next chapters, let's talk about the different possibilities that open up once you've sold your home and are ready to move on. Downsizing doesn't have to mean simply moving to a smaller house. It can mean exploring a whole new way of life.
That's the exciting part. The possibilities are truly endless. Some people might finally pursue that lifelong dream of traveling the world. Without a large home to maintain, you have the freedom and the flexibility to pack your bags and go.
Ah, the nomadic life. I can already picture myself wandering through bustling markets in Morocco or sipping tea in a charming English garden.
Or maybe it's about reconnecting with loved ones, moving closer to family and friends, spending more quality time together, creating new memories. Think Sunday dinners, game nights, just being present in each other's lives.
Yeah, that warms my heart. It's about building those strong connections and creating a supportive community around yourself. What other doors might downsizing open?
It could be the perfect time to finally pursue those hobbies and passions that have been on hold. Maybe it's painting, gardening, writing, learning a new skill. Downsizing can free up the space in your life, both physically and mentally, to embrace those creative pursuits.
It's about reigniting that spark and rediscovering the things that make you feel truly alive.
Exactly. And for some people, downsizing might spark a desire for a simpler, more minimalist lifestyle. It's about simplifying your possessions, focusing on experiences over material things, and finding contentment in living with less.
That's such a powerful concept. It's about letting go of what you don't need to make room for what truly matters.
Beautifully said. It's about creating a life that aligns with your values and priorities, whatever those may be.
And sometimes the best way to discover those values and priorities is to step outside your comfort zone and embrace a change like downsizing.
You're absolutely right. Change can be scary, but it can also be incredibly liberating and lead to unexpected growth and fulfillment.
And if you're feeling uncertain or apprehensive about taking that leap, remember that sellthathouse.com is here to support you every step of the way.
We can help you weigh your options, make informed decisions, and create a plan that feels right for you. We believe that everyone deserves to live a life that's filled with joy, purpose, and freedom. And sometimes that journey begins with selling your home and embracing those exciting possibilities that lie ahead.
Beautifully said. It's about creating a life you love on your own terms.
Now, as we move towards the final part of our deep dive, let's take a moment to reflect on some of the key takeaways for our listeners who are considering downsizing and selling their homes for cash.
First and foremost, remember that it's more than just a financial transaction.
Yeah.
It's a life transition, and it's really essential to honor those emotions that come with letting go of a home that's filled with memories.
Absolutely give yourself permission to feel those feelings and allow yourself time to process the change.
And remember, you don't have to go through this alone. Reach out to friends, family, or professionals for support. That's right.
There's strength in asking for help. And when it comes to the practical aspects of downsizing, start early, create a plan, and break the task down into manageable steps.
And don't forget about the joy of decluttering. It's a chance to simplify your life and surround yourself with the things that truly matter.
And when it comes to selling your home, remember the benefits of a cash sale. Speed, simplicity, and control. You can move forward with confidence and focus on building that exciting next chapter.
And when it comes to selling your home, remember the benefits of a cash sale.
Yeah.
Speed, simplicity, and control. You can move forward with confidence and focus on building that exciting next chapter.
That's right.
Okay, so we've talked about, some of those dream scenarios, traveling the world, reconnecting with loved ones,
Yeah.
pursuing those passions that maybe you put on hold. But let's get real for a second.
Sure.
Downsizing often means selling a house that you've lived in for a long time, a house that holds a lot of memories. How do you let go of a place that's been such a big part of your life?
It's true. Letting go of a home can be tough. It's where you raised your kids, celebrated holidays, maybe even just had those quiet everyday moments that mean so much. But I think it's important to remember that those memories, they're not tied to the physical structure.
Right.
They live within us, and we carry them with us wherever we go. Downsizing doesn't diminish those memories. It just creates space for new ones.
I love that. You're not losing those memories. You're making room for more. So how can people approach this process in a way that feels, respectful of the past, but also exciting for the future?
Well, I think it's all about finding ways to honor those memories while also embracing the opportunity for a fresh start. Maybe you take some time to go through each room and really savor those special moments that come to mind. Or you could even create a photo album or a video montage to capture those memories in a tangible way.
Oh, that's such a sweet idea. It's like creating a little time capsule of your life in that house.
Exactly. And once you've taken that time to acknowledge and appreciate the past, you can start to focus on the possibilities of the future. Maybe you envision yourself in a smaller, cozier space where you can spend more time with loved ones or pursuing those hobbies you've always dreamed of.
It's like closing one chapter and opening another one that's filled with new adventures and opportunities. But let's be honest, downsizing often involves a lot of decluttering, and that can feel pretty overwhelming.
Yeah, decluttering can definitely be a challenge, but it can also be incredibly liberating. It's a chance to simplify your life and surround yourself with only the things that truly bring you joy.
Okay, so any tips for making that process a little less daunting?
Absolutely. I always recommend starting small. Don't try to tackle the entire house at once. Pick one room or even just one drawer or closet and start there.
Okay, so break it down into manageable chunks.
Exactly. And remember, you don't have to get rid of everything. The goal is to create a space that feels comfortable and functional for your new lifestyle. So be thoughtful about what you choose to keep and what you're ready to let go of.
So how do you decide what stays and what goes?
Well, I like to ask myself a few questions. Do I use this item regularly? Does it bring me joy? Does it serve a purpose in my life? If the answer is no to all three, then it's probably time to let it go.
That's a really good framework for making those decisions. What about those items that have sentimental value, but, you don't really use or need them anymore? Those can be tough.
I know those are always the hardest. For those items, I think it's helpful to find a way to honor the memory without necessarily holding on to the physical object.
Hmm.
Maybe you take a photo of it or write a little story about why it's meaningful to you. That way you can preserve the sentiment without feeling obligated to keep the item itself.
I like that. It's like you're creating a memory bank instead of a storage unit.
Exactly. And don't forget about the power of donating. Giving those items to a charity or organization that you care about can be a really meaningful way to let go while also making a difference in the world.
It turns decluttering into an act of generosity. I love
Ooh,
that.
yeah.
Okay, so you've sorted through your belongings. You've said goodbye to some cherished items.
hmm
Now comes the actual move. Any tips for making moving day a little less stressful?
Well, first of all, I'd say be organized, pack things carefully, label boxes clearly.
Right.
This will make unpacking so much easier on the other end.
Oh, absolutely. Nothing worse than opening a box and having no idea what's inside.
Exactly. And if you can afford it, hiring professional movers can be a huge help.
Mm,
They can handle all the heavy lifting
yeah,
and make sure everything gets to your new home safe and sound.
that's a worthy investment for sure.
Yeah, and don't forget to ask for help from friends and family.
Right.
Even if it's just having someone there to provide moral support.
Yeah, a helping hand and a listening ear can go a long way.
Absolutely. Moving can be a lot to handle on your own, so don't be afraid to reach out to your support system.
Yeah, it's a great reminder. Sometimes we try to do it all ourselves when we have people who'd love to help us. And speaking of support systems, for anyone who's feeling overwhelmed by the prospect of selling their home and downsizing, remember, sell that house to me. .com is here to help every step of the way. We can help you navigate the process, get a fair cash offer for your home, and move forward with confidence.
It's true. We've worked with people from all walks of life, facing all sorts of challenges, and our goal is always to make the process as smooth and stress-free as possible. We're here to answer your questions, provide guidance, and make sure you feel supported every step of the way.
It's like having a trusted partner in your corner throughout this whole journey.
Exactly. We believe that everyone deserves a chance to simplify their lives and create a home that truly reflects who they are. And sometimes that means letting go of the old to make way for something new.
Beautifully said. So we've talked about the emotional side of downsizing. We've talked about decluttering and moving. Now let's talk about the exciting part. What are some of the possibilities that open up once you've downsized and you're ready for that next chapter? All right, so we've talked about the emotional side of downsizing. We've talked about decluttering and moving. Now let's talk about the exciting part. What are some of the possibilities that open up once you've downsized and you're ready for that next chapter?
I think this is where it gets really fun. We've talked about the practicalities and the logistics, but now it's time to dream a little bit.
Yeah, let's unleash those possibilities.
Exactly. What does your ideal life look like, without the weight of a big house and all the responsibilities that come with it?
Yeah, for some people it might be travel. Finally taking those trips they've always dreamed of.
Absolutely. Imagine yourself, exploring ancient ruins in Greece or backpacking through Southeast Asia, or maybe just relaxing on a beach in the Caribbean.
Oh yeah, those sound amazing. Or maybe it's about spending more time with loved ones. Moving closer to family and friends, being more present in their lives.
Yeah, those connections are so important. Having those Sunday dinners with the grandkids or those game nights with friends, those are the moments that really matter.
Absolutely. Or maybe downsizing frees up time and energy to pursue those passions and hobbies that you've always wanted to explore.
Yeah, maybe it's painting or writing or learning a new language or taking up a musical instrument, whatever it is that sparks your soul, you finally have the space to do it.
It's like giving yourself permission to rediscover those parts of yourself that you maybe put on hold for a while.
Exactly. And for some people, downsizing might be the catalyst for a more minimalist lifestyle, simplifying their possessions and
Mhm.
focusing on experiences rather than material things.
That's such a powerful shift.
hmm
It's about realizing that true happiness doesn't come from stuff. It comes from the connections we make, the experiences we have, and the impact we make on the world.
And the beauty of it is there's no right or wrong answer. Your downsized life can be whatever you want it to be. It's all about designing a life that aligns with your values and your dreams.
So it's not about shrinking your life. It's about expanding it in a way that feels authentic and fulfilling.
Exactly. And if you're feeling a little overwhelmed by all the possibilities, remember, you don't have to figure it all out at once. Take it one step at a time and allow yourself to be surprised by where this journey takes you.
And for those who are feeling maybe a bit apprehensive about selling their home and taking that leap, remember, sell that house to me. Com is here to help make the process as smooth and stress-free as possible. We can provide you with a fair cash offer for your home and help you navigate all the details so you can focus on the excitement of what's to come.
We truly believe that everyone deserves to live a life they love. And sometimes that means making a change, embracing the unknown, and trusting that something beautiful is waiting on the other side.
That's a wonderful way to put it. And on that note, we're going to wrap up this episode of the Deep Dive. We hope you found it informative and inspiring and that you're feeling empowered to create the downsized life of your dreams.
And remember, no matter where you are in your journey, whether you're just starting to think about downsizing or you're already in the process, we're here to support you every step of the way.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and until next time, keep exploring, keep dreaming, and keep creating a life that brings you joy.